knowing what we know today, there is no reason whatsoever for him to have come back to the game. No. Okay. Now, this is above my pay grade. What do we do about it? There is nothing Mallow can do about it but to tell the world the truth. Okay. But again, the duty falls on the players. The NFL did not point a gun on his head and said, you must go back to play. He could have said no. Okay. Your life should be worth more to you than any amount of money. We need to have our value judgment system in place here. Your life is worth more than $10 billion because you can't replace your life and you have only one life. So the duty falls on the individual players, like I have always said.
After the game, the quarterback and the coach, they're both saying that he suffered a back injury. So they're not even saying that there was a concussion suffered. But you seeing that video, there's no doubt in your mind that he was concussed?
There is no doubt. For them to say that is a misappropriation of the science. That is a misrepresentation of the science. Okay, we are not fools. Okay, the question we need to ask ourselves: if Dr. Mallow was the neurologist who examined him, do you think Dr. Mallow would have sent him back to play? We need to be honest with ourselves. Manipulating the truth is very dangerous. It is what destroys societies. All right. Did he suffer a concussion? From what I saw, there's no question about it. Should he have been sent back to play? No, he should not have been sent back to play. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And what I need to let people know is that moment he hit his head on the turf, he suffered permanent brain damage. We shouldn't minimize concussions or diminish the severity of concussions. A concussion is permanent brain damage. Then over time, when it's cumulative, it could set off neurodegenerative changes. It could progress.
Well, if you were the independent doctor for this game, you would not have let him return to the
game.
There
was no way Omalu would have sent him back to play. And there was no way Omalu would have even allowed him to play in the next game. Like I have always said, based on science, if you suffer a concussion, it takes about 3 months for the inflammatory changes to begin to reasonably subside. And like I've said over 10 years ago, when you suffer a concussion, you should be taken out of play for 3 months. I've said that, people laughed at me. Why do I say that? A concussion is like a fracture of the brain cells. When you suffer a fracture of your leg, how long are you taken out of play? The entire season, right? Now you suffer fractures of your brain, a concussion, and you're sent back in the same game. That is not based on modern day science. That doesn't make sense. I'm not being difficult here or an outlier. I'm simply telling the basic, simple truth, the radical truth. The truth is not always, the truth could be bitter sometimes and difficult.